Hi, it's Tori Henderson, and I'm here with lifecoachingforparents.com, and I'm answering a question from a mom who says, what do you do when your teenager does not want to go to prom? So this is a big topic for parents a lot of times, and teenagers can get really hyped up this time of year. Right now, it's mid-April, it's spring, it's prom season. And for a lot of parents, we kind of see this as a rite of passage. Like, this is something that we have fond memories of, and we want our kids to experience the same thing and all the hype and hoopla that goes along with prom. So your teenager won't go to prom. It's just a very neutral circumstance. What I want to know is, what are your thoughts going on in your head about that circumstance that are causing you to be disappointed, frustrated, worried? What are the thoughts that are going on? So we're going to look at the model up here, and it just says the circumstance is the teen won't go to prom. My thoughts about that are, but it's a rite of passage and everybody should go. And even if you don't have a date, girls are going with friends, boys are going with friends. Like, it's not that big of a deal. You should just suck it up and go, because mom wants to feel good, right? We want to feel good about what we're doing. And we think you not going to prom is causing us this frustration, this worry, this disappointment. But it doesn't. You going to prom has no effect on our emotions. What causes our emotions is our thoughts about it, you not going to prom. And so you might say, oh, it's important, it's a rite of passage, everybody should go. But what it really boils down to is this feeling like he's not doing enough. He should put himself out there more. He should be more normal. He should be like other kids. He should be the way I expect him to be. It's just kind of implying that he's not enough as he is. Or perhaps something's wrong with her. Like, maybe your child has social anxiety. And so instead of addressing social anxiety, we think, well, she should go to prom, because if she went to prom, then I'd know everything was okay and I wouldn't have to worry. Instead of saying, my daughter may have some social anxiety, or my son has depression, or my daughter wants to rebel against traditional school activities, or maybe dancing, loud music, and parties isn't my son's thing. So there's lots of reasons why a teenager wouldn't go to prom. It's important to look at what's coming up for you so that you can support your child's decision in the best possible way, okay, and help them feel good about it, because they're getting a lot of peer pressure and social pressure. Why aren't you going? They don't need to have it from parents too. We want to have their back, right? So you want to take a look at these thoughts that might be implying he's not doing enough, she's not good enough, something's wrong with her maybe. And notice that the feelings that come up for us are inadequacy. It's not just about our kids not doing enough. What happens is, because parents and kids were very intertwined this way, if we think our kid isn't doing enough, or something's wrong with her, we tend to take that on as well. Like, something's wrong with me because my kid isn't going to prom. Or maybe I haven't done enough as a parent to help socialize my son so that he would go to prom. And we think if they just went to prom, we'd feel better. But really, this is a great opportunity to take a look at the thoughts that we're thinking that are causing us to feel this way, and help us kind of separate out, how we want to feel, the message we want to send to our kids. Because when kids, they can sense it, they can pick it up, the messages we are sending them. Because when we feel inadequate, we feel not enough, maybe embarrassed that our kid isn't this, kind of outgoing, socially, confident child, then we worry, we nag, we maybe bribe them to go to prom. We might act really crazy because we were putting so much emphasis on this one school activity, rather than looking at what they might be thinking and what their reasons are. And so the result is that your teenager feels like something is wrong with her or him, because even mom thinks something's wrong with her or him. It's not just all the other students at the school. So then they feel even more, I want to say guilty, but more pressure and inadequate, like they're not enough as they are. And that does not fuel social confidence. We can actually exacerbate a teenager's social ill at ease with our own thinking of like there's something wrong with you because you don't feel confident socially. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to make them feel even more alone and more isolated, more like there's something wrong. It's the thought that we want to think so that we can choose how we feel and act in the way we want to act. So my teenager won't go to prom is just a neutral circumstance, but you get to decide what you want to think about that. And maybe you want to think that, who cares? It's no big deal. She's not going to regret it. I'm proud of myself for letting my teenager make their own decisions. Maybe you want to think, I support his decision. Even if you feel like, but I don't support his decision, then maybe that's not a good thought for you. But you get to choose what you want to think so that the feelings that you have for him are supportive and encouraging. Maybe the thought to think that's helpful is, my daughter has some social anxiety, or my son doesn't like dancing, and that's okay. My daughter has social anxiety, and that's okay. My son doesn't want to go to prom, and that's okay. This has nothing to do with me and my job as a parent. And it helps us, like, let's say your son doesn't want to go to the prom because he really is suffering with depression. Well, then let's say my son has depression as a thought, and you can feel like, okay, well, let's address this. Let me help him with this depression rather than focusing on the prom so that you can feel better. Does that make sense? So I support his decision. She has social anxiety, whatever. So your feelings can be more of like empowered and confident, like you're being the mommy that you want to be. I'm supportive. I don't make her feel bad for not going. I say, hey, let's take that $100 we're going to spend on, well, probably more than $100, right? $200, $300 you're going to spend on prom. And let's go do something fun that you want to do. Let's put it in savings towards this car you want to buy. And really have some encouraging ideas around not going to prom, or what could we do that night instead that seems even better than going to prom. So the question, once you kind of clean up your own thinking around it, the question you want to ask your teens is, do you like your reason? That's really what comes down to it, is, do you like the reason why you're not going to go to prom? If it's, I'm scared or nervous or something that you're like, well, I don't really like that reason, that's okay. I mean, what a great opportunity for your kids. Like, let's say they don't want to go to prom because they're just scared to ask somebody, or they just don't know who to go with, or it's just awkward and uncomfortable, and so they choose not to go. And then a month later, a year later, they regret it. Well, what a great lesson that making a decision out of fear maybe isn't the best decision, right? But they can learn from this. It's not like this is the only chance in their lives they have to have some sort of social activity. So do you like your reason? If you say, I don't like doing school-related activities, I think prom is stupid, I think it's lame, whatever, do you like that reason about you? A teenager might like that. They're a rebel, they have a cause, and they're standing up for their values. Hey, if they like their reason, then you need to find a reason that it's a thought that makes you feel good about that too. That they don't like loud music and dancing and small talk, maybe that's a perfectly good reason not to go to prom. So encourage your kids to think about their why and if they like it. And if it's a fear-based, maybe say, fear is not usually a good reason not to do something. We tend to regret the things in life we don't do more than do. But still, as a parent, it is absolutely okay to support your child's decision, to make them feel like it's not that big of a deal. Like you can say, oh, that's okay, we'll do something else fun instead. Or, if you decide you regretted it later, then next time you'll make a different decision. No big deal. So I wish you luck. And if you want to help kind of processing this out loud and learn how to support your kid, perhaps if they do have some anxiety and depression, you can go to lifecoachingforparents.com/work with me and schedule a free life coaching session. And we can flesh it out and see if we can get you feeling better about the decisions that your teenager is making. All right, take care.